of the National Public Radio editorial staff, NPR, is ripping his own employer over its political bias. Uri Berliner has worked for NPR for 25 years. Fox News media analyst, host of Fox's Media Buzz, Howard Kurtz, joins us tonight. Howard, good evening. There's been a lot of accusations about liberal media bias, obviously, but what makes this account unusual or different?
Uri Berliner is a award-winning senior business editor at NPR, and he is taking on his own network, as you say. He says the NPR has always leaned left, but now it has just gone off the rails. Here's what he told Free Press founder Barry Weiss.
Part of it was Trump's election. Like every newsroom, every legacy media newsroom, we were shocked, disturbed, distraught, really troubled. But after a while, we started covering Trump in a way that we were trying to damage his presidency, to find anything we could to harm him.
Does he provide a number of specific examples here?
Well, here's one. During Bob Mueller's Russia investigation, he says, NPR had Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff on 25 times and followed his talking points on alleged collusion. When no collusion was found, NPR quickly moved on from Russiagate and with no accountability.
So obviously NPR didn't think a lot about the Hunter Biden laptop story.
No, and I vividly remember when NPR managing editor Terrence Samuel said this: "We don't want to waste our time on stories that are not really stories, and we don't want to waste the listeners' and readers' time on stories that are just pure distractions." Berliner now adds this: "I listened as one of NPR's best and most fair-minded journalists said it was good we weren't following the laptop story because it could help Trump." And by the way, Samuel was later promoted, and a year and a half later, as you recall, major news outlets confirmed the authenticity of the laptop.
All right, so here's another one. The riots after the George Floyd killing. Does he comment on that?
Absolutely. Berliner says the message came right from the top. America's infestation with systemic racism should be proclaimed loud and clear. And the author of a book, In Defense of Looting, was interviewed.
So the question is NPR, pandering to his audience, or to their audience? Is that what he's saying?
Well, yes, and that may not be so unusual, but that audience has changed, Brett. Now overwhelmingly white, just 6% black and 7% Hispanic. What's more, NPR issued a document on transgender coverage asking staffers to avoid the term biological sex. Other biases, says Berliner, a coming climate apocalypse, and constantly highlighting the suffering of Palestinians while downplaying the brutal Hamas atrocities against Israel that started the war on October 7th. And by the way, just before I came on air, I saw that NPR editor Edith Chapin had put out a memo to our staff saying she strongly disagrees with the criticism.
Yeah, so does he suggest that this is an isolated case? Do you see that? Or do you think this is kind of the tip of the iceberg?
In my view, not at all. I mean, New York Times famously fired editorial page editor James Bennett for the sin of running an online column by Republican Senator Tom Cotton. Now, an on-air revolt, as you recall, by MSNBC's liberal hosts just forced their NBC bosses to fire ousted RNC chief Ronna McDaniel just 4 days after she'd been hired. And MSNBC boasts about not running many of Trump's primary victory speeches because they say, he's just going to lie anyway. The common thread here, Brett, is silencing dissenting opinion.
It's an amazing story, and we wanted to do it tonight because it just happened today. I doubt it's going to be many other places, if I had to guess.
We shall see. That would confirm something, wouldn't it?
It would. Howie, thanks. Up next, the panel on the Arizona abortion ruling, plus President Biden's comments about the ACA, Affordable Care Act. Later, Tuesday Extras. First, here's what some of our Fox affiliates around the country are covering tonight. Fox 5 in New York City, where police are searching for a suspect who shoved a 68-year-old woman down the stairs of a Greek Orthodox church in Queens. Startling surveillance video shows the man rummaging through her purse as the woman was on the ground. She is in critical condition tonight. Fox 2 in San Francisco, where State Farm Insurance is preparing to drop tens of thousands of policyholders due to significant wildfire risk. A recent state filing by the company shows zip codes where homeowners will be impacted. State Farm is California's largest home insurer. And this is a live look at Orlando from our affiliate, Fox 35. One of the big stories there tonight, the final Delta IV rocket launch, the device carrying a secret reconnaissance payload into orbit. The United Launch Alliance is replacing its fleet with the Vulcan rocket. That's tonight's live look outside the Beltway from Special Report. We'll be right back.
Special Report and NPR, National Public Radio, sad and shameful in its liberalism, and I concur in that totally. Just shameful that they have just absolutely turned radically left.